Hi guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. So in this video we're going to be looking at patch notes that are potentially going to come out in the future, so I'll explain what that means in a second. Effectively, Retroman is the lead game designer for Sandbox Interactive, obviously the developers of Albion Online. Earlier today they were put in a little bit of a bad position. Some patch notes were released and leaked to certain guilds, which kind of gives an unfair playing field to people that potentially know what the changes are coming into the next patches. Obviously they aren't hard to predict. I did a video the other day predicting my own guesses. Doesn't mean they're right, doesn't mean they're wrong, but you can probably guess what's going to get buffed and nerfed. So they go over what NDA balanced playtests are. It's effectively just internal playtests to figure out what's strong, what's weak, changes, how they affect the game and that sort of thing. But what they've done now is included a list of changes that they've currently made to this internal server, and so it gets regularly updated with latest changes of internal playtests. And the idea is it gives all players the same chance of guessing the direction of the next balance patch. So we're going to have a look through them, see what they are, see how we like them, see what we think. So first of all, systems reflect damage now also reflects all AoEs, skill shots and dots. So reflect damage from the Hunter Hood, massive. This thing could be massive. The only spells that doesn't get reflected now is Demon Arrow from the Wailing Bow, Magmasphere from the Wildfire Staff, Meteor from the Brimstone, Hail from Great Frost, Ice Storm from Glacial and Avalanche from Hoarfrost. So stuff that basically once cast can't be changed or anything like that. Like, it's just high hitting abilities that probably stay there for too long, that reflect damage would be overpowered, and I kind of understand that. But other than that, reflects all AoE, skill shots and dots. Reflect damage should be super strong next patch, which is going to be good. Arcane Staffs, Frazzle, added an armor resist, magic resist, shredding, and energy cost 5 to 6. So the energy cost is kind of negligible, it's not going to make much of a difference. However, the armor resist and magic resist shredding, Arcane has now got an empowering beam, a cleanse, a mana drain, and an armor resist, magic resist shred. If you ever wanted to play utility, Arcane is going to be so good for that. And I really like the fact that they're doing things to make Arcane seem more basically in tune with the meta, things that could force it into the meta to have that utility role there. So this is really cool. Could even mean that we start seeing some, if this scales with like magic power, we could start seeing this have some cloth arcanes with cloth shields. That could be crazy, but certainly very interesting. Bows. Now, new W spell, obviously we're not going to know what Ray of Light is because obviously it's a new spell. We can guess, but honestly don't know. However, Deadly Shot. Deadly Shot is the cast Q on bows. Every bow obviously has it. Every shot also increases your cast speed by 20% for 3 seconds. Like, that's crazy. So Deadly Shot now is going to allow people just to pump out these shots. Reapplying at max stacks resets the cast speed increase, so I imagine that you get 20%, 40%, 60%, 80% reset, and same again. The damage has been nerfed in accordance with it, but this means we're going to see cloth bows all over the place doing a ton of damage. Whispering Bow I think is going to be super strong because they're going to be able to go in, do these 5 deadly shots and come out and then poke with his E, go back in, out, and they're going to be able to do work. So I'm looking forward to where bows are going to be next patch. They could be really strong. Daggers. Now obviously new W spell, Shadow's Edge. Not going to know what that is either. I would like to see, so Shadow Edge, I kind of hope this is something like a Shadow Step. Now that would be an amazing W spell that would give daggers something. It would give them targeted mobility, make it have like another effect to it, but it's got to be quite close range and you just teleport to them, like maybe a 5-6 meter range. I don't know, something like that would be quite cool, but again, that's all speculation. Execute, it's actually called Slit Throat on live, but I have checked, it is the same ability because it's the dot damage and instant damage. Now been changed to 75% rather than 60 and 25% dot damage, so you're still going to be hitting really hard with that upfront damage. Now obviously they haven't changed the cast time, it's still going to be easy to dodge. Obviously you have to stack on the target, so you're still very tunnel vision, so daggers are still going to be in a weird spot I think. Just kind of depends what that W spell is really. Fire staffs. Lots of changes to fire staffs, actually. I was quite surprised. So, Firewall, damage per tick has been reduced by almost, in fact, half, basically. Very surprising to see. I didn't think Firewall was too overpowered. I actually thought it was in a good place. So, the fact that the damage has been reduced massively on it with no other utility buffs. Bit weird, but okay. Fire Wave, cooldown increased from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. Damage per tick. So, longer cooldown, more damage. Number of ticks is now 5. Hold on. I'm actually just still logged in, which is helpful. Let's have a look at Fire Wave then, shall we? Oh, so it's this one. Okay, so it's a conal thing in front of you. Igniting enemies it hits. Affected enemies suffer 31 damage per second. Okay, so that's going to tick 5 times now for a lot more. Wow, that's going to hit for a ton. Knockback distance, so it's a short knockback. Energy cost is kind of negligible, but 5 ticks at 34 is going to be a lot more than... So that's 60 there. That's what, 150 base? That's going to be... That could be quite cool. So that could give Fire some more just conal pressure, AoE pressure, while doing a lot of damage and still having a little bit of utility on the knockback. Spreading Flame, that's the Infernal Staff. Just a slight buff. That's probably a Zerg buff more than anything. Meteor getting a 50 damage, just flat buff. Not going to change anything. It's still going to be good for ZVZ. That's basically it. Freezing Wind Frost Staffs. So, we had this conversation the other day on my other video. I thought Freezing Wind needed a little bit of a damage reduction, a little bit of a cooldown increase. They've gone with the damage reduction, 20 damage base. That's a fairly significant damage buff. No other changes to it. I still think this is going to be a good thing. It's just going to be more utility based. Probably going to start seeing the leather guys potentially go back down to cloth just to get that damage back, but obviously makes them a lot squishier. So maybe. Blizzard base slow duration per tick 1 second to 2 seconds. I believe Blizzard is Glacial Staff. Ice Storm. What's Blizzard? Blizzard? No, there is no Blizzard. Okay, so I presume it's just another name that they've called Ice Storm. It makes sense that it's 2 second duration. So actually, Ice Storm is going to see quite a big buff in this. Maybe we'll start seeing more glacial staffs. Frozen Hell, hit delay from 0.2 seconds to 0.7 seconds. It's actually a big buff, debuff, a big nerf, sorry, for Frozen Hell. Especially if it still only lasts 5 seconds. That's actually only going to last 4 seconds then, because for 0.7 seconds of that, you're not going to be affected. So, not sure I like that change for Frozen Hell, to be honest. Hammers, removed the Treat generation passive. I presume that means threat. Added energetic passive, Groundbreaker, stun area width 1 meter to 1.5 meter. What's Groundbreaker? I presume that's Power Geyser. There's nothing that's oh, there you go, Groundbreaker. Okay, so Polehammer's going to have like a wider hitbox. That's pretty cool. That could work. Okay, that's interesting to see. Bit of a safer tank potentially. They've removed the threat generation for reasons we'll talk about below and added energetic in its stead. Doesn't really make a big difference to tanks, to be honest. Holy Staffs. Now, I don't like this actually at all. Total healing output reduced by 10%. That's a flat 10% healing nerf. That's like healing with a tier below what you can wear. So if you're a T6 healer, equip a T5 heal and go and heal, and that's what you're going to be at next patch. Remove self-healing sickness, which stops you being able to like spam heal yourself forever. Whatever, isn't going to make a massive deal. Flash Heal, remove the healing increase effect. This spell cannot be stacked up anymore. So on Holy Staffs, looking at that, Flash Heal increases healing received by 4%. Stacks up to 2 times. They're removing that effect completely, so there's no healing increase. That means you're also not going to get energy back anymore. And energy costs are going to be massive. So that's another 2 energy cost, and you can burn your mana quick enough anyway as Holy. That's a huge nerf to Holy. That's massive. And Generous Heal, which may be just as good now actually, is also going to get an energy cost. That's a huge nerf to Holy there. Mace's, only thing that's changed is the threat generation passive and energetic passive added. No real changes to Mace's. Nature Staffs. So lots of changes here. Not surprising, Nature Staffs obviously are quite strong right now, and obviously they've got changed in the last patch of beta, so not surprising. 10% healing reduction. What? Remove self-healing sickness, which means you're going to be chasing Nature Staffs that are the last person alive for 8 years in a Hellgate to try and catch them up. Rejuvenation. The third stack is now never consumed, meaning you also cannot get any energy back. So a part of the skill cap of a Nature Staff is that you would manage your rejuvenation stacks, and you would always be able to get that third rejuvenation just as it's about to wear off. You'd use it to get the energy back, which was why Nature could manage her energy really well. And it was a skill cap of the weapon, really. Now refreshing the third stack consumes more and more energy, so you can keep Hot Step forever on people, obviously while you've got the energy, very similar to like the Spirit Spear on the Glaive. Yeah, that's risky. It does actually say this change has been reverted. The spell is 20% less effective on the caster, so a bit iffy as to what's happening with Rejuvenation. Potentially some changes coming to that. Rejuvenating Mushroom, energy cost 6 to 9. Not really surprising. Mushroom's very, very strong for open world and like group stuff, and the energy cost doesn't really match it. Other than that, everything's just kind of received a bit of an energy nerf. It's going to cost more, so I mean, healers are going to be really struggling for energy in the next patch. Quarterstaffs, I do like this change here, but we'll talk about that in a second. Again, threat generation, energetic passive, another tank weapon, so them two changes are going to be on every tank weapon. Tornado, the knockup time is not affected by CC duration or CC resistance anymore. It's always the same duration, 2 seconds now. That's the Soul Scythe. So it's stopping people use the Hunter Shoe Soul Scythe onto Clothies and they've been knocked up for 7 seconds. Basically, it's just killed that weapon off in 5v5. It's just an open world weapon now. Spears, new W spell, again, we just don't know what that's going to be, so there's no point speculating. Forester Spears, very, very interesting change. So, number of ticks has gone from 6 to 8. Damage per tick is 44 to 35. So, the per tick damage is decreased by 20%. However, the total damage is increased by 6%. Now, people are going to look at this and freak when they go, Forester Spears does not need more damage. Now, what this actually means, if you get that full Forester Spears onto someone, you're still going to be doing huge damage, but it's less bursty. And I kind of like that. It's still a buff in the grand scheme of things, but it just makes it less bursty. It's more overall damage. I do like that. And Fling, so people saying on my last video, is Glaive, do you not think Glaive's going to get nerfed? I don't think Glaive, Fling, I think Fling is the only thing that really needed a nerf, and ultimately I think they've gone the right direction with it. They've reduced the slow strength, which means you can get flinged and get out of that Forester Spears really quickly, and that's going to be really strong. Swords. New W spell, Splitting Slash. Again, we can't speculate because we just don't know, to be honest. Spinning Blades is a range is 11 meters to 14 meters. I believe that's dual swords, actually. To have a look. Spinning Blades, yeah, so it's now 40 meter jump. That's a massive jump, actually, but you still can't stack up without a tank. So, dual swords, I think the playstyle they're looking for is that I'm going to build up on a tank and then jump to the backline and do lots of damage, potentially, but still don't think it does enough yet to justify using them. Fearless Strike, the slow is being removed. Instead, the spell now reduces enemy resistance. Oh, wow, hold on. Hold on. The slow has been removed. Instead, the spell now reduces enemy resistances depending on active heroic charges. Oh, Carving Sword is going to be crazy. That could be insane depending on the resistance debuff. We're going to see a lot of resistance debuffs in the next patch then, potentially with Frazzle and Fearless Strike. That's 2 extra things that are having resistance drops. That's crazy. That could be insane. 11 meter charge as well, so that's going to be massive. Plate, this is why the threat generation doesn't really matter now, is plate armors now have an additional 200% health regen bonus out of combat. Basically, it's like chuck a soup on, that's how OP they're going to be. It just means like fame farming, tanks are going to be able to run between packs and they're going to be full health by the end of it. It's going to be nice. Threat bonus factors, soldier armor is now 1.4 to 4. Basically, they're all around 4, 4.5. Basically, you're just going to have threat. You're not going to compete with a plate wearer and threat, because remove the threat bonus from all cloth and leather armor. You're just not going to be able to compete with it for threat, and that's a good thing. We want the tanks to have threat. Fury is the soldier armor. ability, the stacks up to 10 one. Don't really like the ability. I don't think it has a place right now. Cooldown reduced by 10 seconds. I still don't think it's going to have a place. Guardian armor, enfeeble aura now also reveals invisible targets. Complete counter to like the double invis Clarent, double invis Carrion that we've seen over a couple of times over the last week or two. Still, I don't think it's going to be worth taking. However, Wind Wall is actually taking a nerf. The 50-second cooldown, that's actually a really big cooldown. Potentially Enfeeble Aura could actually come in now. Let's actually look at the cooldown on Enfeeble Aura. I think that might just be better next patch. 30-second cooldown. Do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest to see Enfeeble Aura come into meta next patch. But we'll see what happens. Helmet's energy regain is now a 30-second cooldown. It's fine. It just makes... It's a quality of life change more than anything. Circle of Inspiration. So people judging me for my Druid Cow guesses. Circle of Inspiration is now a 45-second cooldown. Really, really cool. An Energy Shield. 13 energy per hit. So Energy Shield is the Scholar Cowl, I believe. Let's have a look, make sure. It is. So 39 resistances. If I have a look at like T7, because it's 6-1. That's the wrong helmet. Let's have a look at this. So 42 resistance increase, which is not bad. It's not the best resistance buff in the world. However, you can get 13 energy per hit on this. That's massive. You can get a lot of energy if you get focused. So I do like that. Circle of Inspiration, 45-second cooldown. Fights are going to be a lot quicker. I think mana's going to go very, very quickly. A lot of people are going to be able to take damage because the resistance drops. So... yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of pain coming in the next patch. Very, very quick fights, potentially. Shoes. Dodge roll. Again, called it. Assassin boots. Cooldown 20 to 25 seconds. Absolutely fine. I like this change. I think this is the perfect change. In fact, I think this is what I said in the video. I do like this. I think it just brings it in line a little bit more to other boots. Shield charge actually got a nerf. Don't know why. I've not seen anyone use shield charge other than maybe healers. Shield strength is 199 to 187. It's not going to make a difference. No one's really using night boots. Just makes them even worse. Offhands, Eye of Secrets. Highest energy regeneration bonus is now to 15%. So regen is lowered. However, the highest maximum energy you can have is increased. I don't really understand this one too much. However... basically, by the sounds of it, you can have more energy at the start, however, less regen. So again, I think we're just going to see quicker fights and not so sustainable fights. Sticky Potions. Thank God, get rid of Sticky Potions. All potions now always have the 3-meter radius. So that's the same as the tier 3, which is quite small. Area duration is now only 6 seconds rather than 8, which is just brilliant. I think 4 seconds wouldn't even be too much to ask for. And damage reduction is now reduced by 50%. Get rid of the damage reduction. I still don't think this is needed, but let's look at the sticky pots a second. Compare. So looking at this, it's going to be... try to work this out in my head now. This is where my math gets me embarrassed. 20%-ish? No, not even like 18%. Don't know why that was so hard. I do apologise, guys. 18% reduction on damage isn't too bad. The area is going to be there for 6 seconds. Still a 63% slow, so it's still going to be strong. However, it's not going to be as prominent, which I like. So, I don't think it's nerfed enough, but it's definitely the right direction for Sticky Potions. So, guys, I'll put this thread into the comments. Hope you guys like it. If you like this, please let me know. If you guys think there's any change that is missed off here, any changes that you wish to have seen, please let me know in the comments below. If you like the video, like it. If you like the channel, subscribe. Other than that, thank you for watching, and catch you later, guys. Goodbye.